Welcome back to Africa Arise. We have gone through the 3-part series of computer programming, introduction to computer programming. If you haven't watched those videos, please just check out and move with others. I believe those are the very basics that you need to understand to become the computer scientist that you want to become. If you've got any questions, if you've got anything that you are not getting right, please ask questions in the comment sections. I have one of the students whom I met. What I encouraged her is, I said go and watch repeatedly, or you can ask me questions and I'll be able to explain it a little bit better to you. Because what happens is, I can take the experience to myself. When I was starting these things, I wasn't getting it, but because I was hungry, because I really wanted to pursue it, I pushed it through. I revised more than many times, continuously coming back to read the books that I was reading, continuously coming back to watch the videos that I was watching, until I became better and better. You can also improve, but what you need to do is to make sure that you consistently follow, you read through, you listen now and again. Don't easily give up in computer science. Computer science is an enemy of people who easily give up, because this subject, especially in the third world countries, I know that is totally and absolutely new to you, but you need to keep on going, keep on keeping on. Now we want to go ahead and install Python and install Scratch. Let me clarify these two things. Scratch is for children, at least from the age of 6 to 13 years. It is a software for computer programming whereby we use puzzles and blocks, putting them together, building games. And these games, you can go ahead and put them in your mobile phone and be able to play them. This is very good for children, so that when they are above the age of 11 or 13, they are able to begin computer programming without much challenges. So if you have a child and you want your child to be a computer scientist tomorrow, or if your child is saying they want to be a computer scientist tomorrow, please, I beg of you, raise that dream and take it to where it needs to be. Do your best to encourage them. We are going to install Scratch. We are going to install Python. Python is for people, adults who are at least from the age of 11. You can get started. And no matter your age, even if you are 40, 50, 80 years, as long as you feel that you can still learn something new, you can go ahead and install Python with me so that we get started. Let's get into the installation. To install Python, go into your browser and type python.org. Once you are there, you go to the Python website and now click on the downloads, and you'll be able to see the version of Python, the latest one, Python 3.9. Don't worry, go ahead and install it. Even if mine is currently installed is 3.8, there won't be any differences. Now choose according to your operating system. If you're on Windows, you choose Windows, but I want you to choose installer, Windows installer. If it is 32-bit or 64, but I encourage you just to go for that 64, because I know that many computers these days are just using 64-bit operating system. And if you are on Mac, just go and download the installer for Mac, and you install the way it is in Mac computers. And right now Python will begin to download, and I have already downloaded it. And so let me just cancel, and let's go straight away to the installation. Now in your download folder, just go to Python and right click and run as administrator, and down here at the bottom click add Python 3.9 to path. And once it is like that, you go ahead and click install now. Now Python will begin to install on your computer, and once that is done, we will be rushing all the way to install Visual Studio Code. To install Visual Studio Code, just type in your browser VS Code download and follow the link here, Visual Studio Code editing, Visual Studio Code editing redefined. Just click that link. Don't click this one down here on the east side. Click this one that I'm clicking right now here, and it will take you to a Visual Studio Code website. And you click this hamburger menu, and you have got options to choose according to your operating system, but I want you to choose stable version, not the insiders version, because this one is for developers. You will know later what it means. Download according to your operating system, and Visual Studio Code will begin to download. And once it's downloaded, you'll be able to get started with the installation. So let's proceed on to the installation of Visual Studio Code and see what's up for us there. Now you go to your download folder, you right click Visual Studio Code, you run as administrator. Just continue, click run if this message pops up, and Visual Studio Code will give you a message that it is not meant to run as administrator. Just click OK, it will continue the installation. And over here, right click I accept the agreement, and over here I want you to, if you want to add it to your desktop, like what you are seeing on my icons over here, just click create desktop shortcut if you want that to happen. For me, I don't want. And another thing that I need you to do is add Visual Studio Code to path. These three boxes must be checked as well, so that you'll be able to link Visual Studio Code to what you call environmental variables. You will learn about this one a little bit later as we continue with Python, but for now just go ahead and check these three boxes and go ahead. If you want Visual Studio Code to open in folders, and in Explorer, File Explorer, you need to click these checkboxes and continue by clicking next and click install, and Visual Studio Code will begin the installation. Once it's installed, click finish to finalize, and Visual Studio Code will begin to open. Now over here, if you find any of these boxes that are popping up, just click trust and yes, and now close this welcome window. And now we want to head on to extensions. We want to install extensions, what we call extensions for Visual Studio Code. You will understand what extensions are for as we are going to explain right away. So the first extension is called, extensions are just kind of like plug-ins. They are called plug-ins or extensions in the sense that we install them within another software. Okay, we install them within another software so that we are able to use them for particular purposes. So right now I want to install the Python extension. So just type over here in the search Python extension. and download this one, IntelliSense linting and debugging, which has got approximately 3.1 million downloads. Right now on mine, it's already stored, but I am going to uninstall it and reinstall for the sake of demonstration. So just click, the button will appear like this, and just click install, and Python extension will begin to install. The reason we are installing Python extension in Visual Studio Code is that we cannot use Visual Studio Code with Python without the Python extension installed. That is why we are installing this. So you go ahead as well and type this one, bracket pair colorizer 2, and you can also go ahead and install it. It is very good for colorizing your code as you type in kind of in brackets. All right, now let's proceed on. You are also going to install this one, community material theme. Is good for giving a good look like mine, as you see over here in my Visual Studio Code. You can select the theme or the look or the feel that you want according to that. So you need that one. You just click on it, and over here on the right side to the options, you just choose the theme that you want, and you go ahead, you choose the theme you want, and you'll be able to have that particular look you want. Now going ahead, you also need to install this extension. It's called you need to install this extension. Don't worry about this data extension. You need to also install this one, material icon theme. Is good to give particular languages or frameworks that you'll be working with in your code. It will be able to display the icon for you to easily identify that this is Python file, this is HTML, this is what. Although we are going to look at HTML later. Over here you can see the Python icon in the box over here, how it looks like. Yeah, this is how it will be looking like, the icons of different languages and different files that you'll be actually creating in your code. This is how it will be looking like. So you need that. Okay, now what else? Now when that is done, close over there the extension part and go over in this menu and just click over here, this icon, create new file. You can type python.py. Right now you see that material icon is indicating the Python logo, so you are able to realize that this is the Python file. And from there we want to just create an example to demonstrate how Python works, and if Python works, and you are going to type your first line of code over here. So let's go ahead, we open this file, we just type. You may not know what this means, but just go ahead and type print and open and close bracket and open and close colon, you put hello. These two brackets are called parentheses in computer programming. These two colons are just called a string in computer programming. So if I just put this print, the print is a function, is basically a function that gives instruction to the computer to print the word hello in the terminal. Down here, as you can see, is displaying right away. So it shows that Python is successfully installed on your computer and is working properly with the Visual Studio Code. You can also type hello world. Hello world is traditionally basically used in computer programming, and the first programmers had to type hello world on the screen, and that was it. And so even today we are still typical of still following the same route. And you can even type your name over here. As you can see, I can type my name and it can appear down in the terminal, hello world, hello honest, and so forth. So now we need to proceed on to the installation of Scratch. To install Scratch, just type download Scratch on your browser and you see that there is a Scratch 4.0 or Scratch 3.8, whatever. No problem. Go to this link on https://scratch.meet.edge/download and Scratch offline editor, emphasis on that one. So once proceed on to click this link and let's go straight away to the website of Meet and download Scratch so that we'll be able to get going. Now you actually download according to your operating system: Windows, Mac, Linux, Chrome OS, or Android. Oh, Linux is not there, but I know that if you're a beginner you won't be using Linux, and if you are using Linux you know what you are doing. So you go ahead, you click, it will automatically detect your operating system and click on the direct download link here and Scratch will begin to download. It is fairly a little bit bigger, but you have to wait for it to finish, and once it's finished, let's go to the installation. Now Scratch is downloaded on my PC, so I am going to the download folder and right click, run as administrator, and Scratch will begin to install. Once run as administrator, Scratch will begin to install, and once it pops up this window, just click install. You don't need any lot of confirmations over there. Just click install, and once it's installed, we click finish. So you click finish and Scratch will begin to load on your window, on your computer in fact, and as it is loading you can see this is how it looks like. Let me put full screen. So in the next video we are going to talk about beginning programming in Scratch for kids by building mobile games. Now congratulations for getting this far, and I hope you enjoyed it and you are beginning to see that things are beginning to shape up. Thank you very much for watching this video, and until next time.